Hi, this is Laura DeMeo from Challenge Atlantic City, and joining us today we have six-time world champion triathlete Mark Allen. So welcome, Mark.
Glad to be with you, Laura.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. I know you're very busy, so thank you for taking the time to chat with us and answer a few questions for all the athletes racing Challenge Atlantic City.
Great. Happy to put my input in there for them.
Yeah, good. Well, we're very excited to have you be a part of it. So what are you looking forward to at the inaugural Challenge Atlantic City on June 29th?
You know, what's exciting for me is that it's always great to be a part of the beginning of something, sort of the first ever type of an event like this. And I was out for the press conference, a few months ago, where it was announced that officially it was going to be Challenge Atlantic City, and there was just a great energy around it, with the race directors and the support of the community, and I think it's going to be a really, really fun event to be at, not only for the people racing, but for the folks who are watching and cheering them on.
So as part of Challenge Atlantic City, I understand you'll be speaking at the Sports Medicine Symposium. What topics will you be covering?
I'll tell a little bit of my experience just trying to stay healthy as an endurance athlete, which, on one level it's very easy because you're training a lot, so you have a lot of fitness. However, it's very easy to go over that training line where all of a sudden you're tired or something's starting to hurt. And but I'm also going to tell some of the stories from my racing career, because I think those are those are precious experiences for me, and I love to share them. They're kind of the human side of the sport, and I like to show that maybe I've won a lot of great races during my career, but it wasn't automatic, and it's worth sticking with those things that you have a dream for accomplishing or experiencing, even if the first time or the second time or the third time it doesn't quite work out right. And so I share a lot of the stories, or I'll be telling a lot of the stories of how, some of my first events, I didn't quite hit the placing and the timing that I'd hoped to, but eventually I did, and then it was, my experience was beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
Great. Well, we look forward to hearing you speak at the symposium. And just for everybody to know, you'll be speaking on Friday, June 27th?
Yes, I'll be Friday in the afternoon, I think around 4:30.
And it's 2 weeks out from the race. Hopefully all the athletes have done all their physical training. So what can you tell them about their mental preparation for the race?
Well, one of the toughest things right now, 2 weeks out, is that they're really starting to cut back on their training volume, training intensity. And when you really start to rest up and store up that energy for the race, all of a sudden you can kind of feel like you're actually getting out of shape, because you're used to doing such a huge amount of training, and then you cut it back. Your body's like, hey, wait a minute, I can actually really recover. And so you can actually start to feel kind of sluggish, and I always tell people, stick with it. Don't throw another big session in there just to make sure you have the training. You have the fitness. You have what it's going to take to get to that finish line. And so that's one thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind. If you start to feel a little tired, get more sleep. Don't worry about training now. That's in the bank. And then the second thing that's really important is, as best as you can, kind of, right now you're 2 weeks out, so plan what you're going to do on race day. Make sure you have all your equipment ready. Your bike has been checked by the mechanics. You know what you're going to wear in the swim bike run. You have all your nutrition planned out. Don't save that till the last week. That last week before the race, the nerves are going to kind of sneak in there. But it's that excitement and anticipation that really will help you to have the best race you possibly can. So anyway, get all the details taken care of this week, and then next week, as you get closer to the event, when you're about a week out, that's when, it's okay to feel a little bit nervous, but don't add all of the pressure of having to figure all of that stuff out when you're already, starting to anticipate it. And then in that final week also, just kind of take some time where you're quiet, where you're relaxed, and go over the event and just see yourself feeling good on the swim, feeling strong on the bike, feeling really fast on the run, and imagine what that's going to be when you cross that finish line, that experience.
And finally, do you have any race tips for the first-time athletes that are doing the full distance triathlon, which is a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike, and the 26.2-mile marathon.
Yeah, well, if it's your first time doing that distance, clearly you know that it's going to be a long day, but there will probably be points where it feels a lot longer than you could have ever imagined. That's just part of it, you know, so just stick with it, be patient, try not to go too fast on the swim, try not to go too fast on the bike. Usually a full distance triathlon, it really, if you can just kind of hold back a little bit as you're going through it, make sure you keep taking in your nutrition, both fluids and calories. And then when you get to about 10 or 15 miles to go on the run, then if you're feeling really good, then you can really start to pick up your pace. But usually, you know, if you're out there on the bike and you're feeling strong and you're starting to race everybody, by the time you get to the run, you may not have enough gas in the tank. So, you know, pace yourself. It's the biggest part of the day is just pacing, and really enjoy the experience. You know, you've done the training. Just getting to the start line is an amazing thing. I mean, think about it. How many people out there in the world even have the guts to dream of doing a full distance triathlon? You know, all of you, especially you first timers, you've had that dream and you're ready to go. So just enjoy that day. Enjoy the crowds who are cheering. You know, think about your family and friends who gave you the time and the space to put in that type of work to be able to be fit enough to attempt a race like this. And look for us at the finish line. We'll be cheering you in.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting day. We're all very excited for the race, and we're happy to have you part of the Challenge Atlantic City race. And for everybody out there, please be sure to sign up for the Symposium and listen to Mark Allen at his talk on Friday, June 27th. So thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Laura, and good luck to everybody. We'll see you out there in a couple weeks.